Hello everybody, welcome back to another Texas Chainsaw Massacre related video today. As of today, the development team has finally released their first update, their first patch notes regarding TCM, so I just kind of want to make a video going over some of the update and basically get my full thoughts around the surrounding update. The first thing that's noticeable is that they basically fixed some of the PC stuttering and ultra graphic settings. Now, I personally did experience some of this whenever I was playing on ultra graphic settings, but a lot of that for me did go away whenever I just adjusted the settings to be a little bit lower. You cannot fix all FPS drops, of course, but for some reason, the ultra graphic settings for this game when it first came out was a bit too much. So, I mean, it's good props to them for fixing those issues. But in terms of like the scale of priority, I mean, I don't think people were actually hurting to have to play the game on ultra graphic settings. Like, usually if you're pushing ultra graphic settings on any game, you should expect, a little bit worse performance because you're pushing the bounds of your hardware limitations and other things. And I don't know, when it comes to like gameplay balance and fixes, I feel like that was a decent fix. But you'll kind of see what I mean here whenever we go through the rest of these. The other fixed thing that's basically fixed was voice chat not working in some lobbies for party members. Now, this is a good fix, but for me personally, for some reason, my game does not allow me to use voice chat. It's been broken, and this doesn't necessarily fix the overall voice chat issue, where it seems to be where a lot of people are just unable to use their voice chat while they're in a match. This is unrelated issue compared to people not being able to use their voice chat in parties. It also is just very buggy when it comes to just using your voice chat in general. So I'm a little disappointed whenever they fixed the voice chat. They didn't fix all of it. It's just a very specific niche segment for people. The next section is going to be XP progression. This is pretty good of an update. It says that the fix resolves the UI issue that would appear to rank up after every match despite not having gained the required XP to do so. It says the fix also resolves inaccurate XP and XP delays related to earning XP. Again, this is a really good fix, but I also, from my experience, feel like I haven't been progressing at all. I've been losing a lot of my progress at the end of the match. If I don't sit through the super long spectating matches where people are just kind of AFK in a corner and I decide to leave the match prematurely, which by the way it says is supposed to save my progression. From my experience, it's not saving my progression every time, and I'm losing a lot of that progression. The only time I save my progression is usually when I play family, but the game has an issue right now where it seems like family members get less XP per match compared to when you play victim. For somebody like me who wants to try to catch up to other people who are already progressed pretty well in the game, this does not help me that much. The next is going to be fixes for various crashes and freezes. It includes a PS4 crash related to unlocking trophies, and they also included a fix for high-level players experiencing a crash on the match results screen. Again, this is very nice for very specific and niche specific people. But like my game, for example, will find random crashes and also crash every time I try even just to close the game or open the game half the time. And I feel like that's a priority over these very minuscule few crashes that happen to very specific people. Instead, the overarching issue with the game seems to crash quite a bit. The last thing is they also changed, well, they ain't the last thing, but they also changed the key binding and they added rebinding to the PC version of the game. This was a feature I feel like they should have had by default. They've had other features in the game that a lot of other games don't have, like the ability to leave match and supposedly save your experience, which a lot of the games don't actually include. So this game has the game has a bunch of features that push this game forward compared to other games, but also is missing obvious features that people should have had from the get-go, which is key rebinding. I'm not sure why this game didn't launch with that. Another addition that they made was that the game will now have lobbies launch with 6 players. Before you'd have to have I think all 7 players for the game to begin, but now the game only requires 6 players. The only catch is that people have to play as Leatherface. There has to at least be one Leatherface per match. This makes a lot of sense, and I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing. I just think though, because the game is a bit more heavy-handed toward the victim's favor, for really good players who know what they're doing and how to get out in the most optimized ways for every map, it's going to basically, I think, make it really difficult for people who are 2 family members be able to catch up or effectively hold the map pressure to win the game. So although it's nice for this people to play versus not playing at all, I do think it is pretty unbalanced to have 2v4. So that being said, it could use some work on top of that. They've also changed the menu system where they've put the quick play option on the top of the family and victim option. This is the most fastest way to get into any match, especially if you don't care what role you're playing, which is a pretty good change. I agree with that change. They also removed PC from crossplay. This is pretty weird, but they said they did that so they could improve their anti-cheat tools and resources, which I understand because you don't want console players to have to be subject to PC cheats, but at the same time, forcing PC just to play with each other basically narrows the community pool the PC players could queue with very narrowly, and now forces PC players to come across these hackers more often, because it's like basically protecting console players and then saying hell with you PC players for now, which is not very good. I really hope that they reinstate that soon so that we have also an equal amount of chances of queuing into a hacking match as much as other people do. And the last thing is that they basically made improvements to their anti-cheat protection and other resources, and they're tracking and logging for cheat detection, which is always good for game health. Multiplayer games, especially asymmetrical games, kind of live and die based on how well you could basically keep a track of the cheaters and get them out of the game, because they do ruin all multiplayer experiences for everybody. So as long as they make those adjustments, that's also good too. But all in all, that was pretty much it. It was a roughly smaller patch notes section that they posted on Reddit here. And honestly, my overall thoughts is I'm a little bit disappointed. The game is released now for, I don't know, a few weeks now to about a month. And for the first update for the gun media to come out with, to be this small and to just be very niche up, like fixes. This wasn't just like bug fixes and stuff that fixed a lot of the problems with the game that it was having. These fixes are only for a very niche portion amount of people. And for me, it hasn't changed my experience with the game all that much in terms of the bug issues and feature issues I've been experiencing. So overall, I mean, I'm a little bit concerned because if it takes this long for these developers to kind of communicate about what their roadmap is or their plans or how they basically push out patches, I'm a little worried about the health of the game moving forward and its longevity, which I know a lot of people don't really think this game was ever going to have a super long leg to stand on, but at the same time, while it's fun and while it's refreshing, we want it to last as long as possible right before it dies. But that being said, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, always hit the like button, subscribe, leave the comment section down below what you guys think, and I will talk to you guys all later. Peace out.